In a quiet little meadow, nestled among tall, sturdy oak trees, lived the sweetest bunny you could ever imagine. Her name was Bella. Her fur was as soft as a dandelion puff, and her heart was even softer. Everyone in the forest, from the tiny field mice to the wise old owls, simply adored her. Bella's days were filled with joy and simple pleasures. She'd spend her mornings collecting vibrant wildflowers to decorate her cozy burrow, her afternoons helping lost baby birds find their way back to their nests, and her evenings sharing her delicious, crunchy carrots with all her friends. She believed that kindness was like a boomerang. The more you threw it out into the world, the more it came back to you. One bright sunny morning, Bella grabbed her little wooden bucket and hopped cheerfully toward the sparkling river. The sun warmed her fur and the birds sang a happy tune. As she got closer to the water's edge, she heard something unusual. It was a soft, whimpering sound filled with distress. Bella's ears perked up, and her nose twitched with concern. She put down her bucket and followed the sound, her little paws moving silently through the soft grass. The whimpering grew louder, leading her to a thicket of ferns near an old fallen log, and there, trapped beneath the heavy wood, was a large brown dog. He looked scared and exhausted, his leg pinned firmly under the log. Without a moment of hesitation, Bella's kind heart took over. She called out in her small but determined voice, "Hold on. Don't worry, I'll get you out of there." The dog looked up, surprised to see such a tiny creature offering to help. Bella didn't waste any time. She scurried to one end of the log and started pushing with all her might. Her little muscles strained, and her paws dug into the soft earth, trying to find leverage. It was incredibly hard work for a small bunny. The log barely budged, but Bella was not one to give up. She remembered how her father used to tell her that a brave heart is stronger than any muscle. She tried a different tactic. She started digging frantically around the log, kicking up dirt and pebbles, creating a trench to help it roll. Her paws were getting sore, and she was panting with effort, but the sight of the trapped dog spurred her on. Slowly, painstakingly, the log began to shift. It teetered for a moment, and then, with one final, mighty shove from Bella, it rolled away, freeing the dog's leg. He scrambled to his feet, shaking the dirt from his brown fur. He stretched his freed leg carefully and then turned to Bella, his tail wagging so hard his whole body wiggled with joy. "Thank you, little one," he said, his voice deep and warm. "You saved me. I don't know what I would have done without you." "My name's Duke." Bella beamed, her heart swelling with pride and happiness. "I'm Bella," she replied softly. "I'm just glad you're okay." From that very day, an unlikely but wonderful friendship blossomed between the small, gentle bunny and the big, strong dog. Duke and Bella became inseparable. They were the best of friends, a perfect team. They spent their days playing tag by the river, splashing in the cool water. Duke would teach Bella how to track interesting smells, and Bella would show Duke where the sweetest berries grew. They explored every corner of the woods together, their adventures filled with laughter and discovery. But their friendship wasn't just about fun and games. They also made it their mission to help other animals in need. Bella was small and sweet, able to comfort the tiniest creatures and offer a gentle touch. Duke was strong and clever, able to solve bigger problems and protect his friends from harm. If a squirrel's nuts were stolen, Duke would track them down. If a young badger got lost, Bella would soothe its fears while Duke led the way home. They were a perfect balance of heart and strength, and the whole forest felt safer and happier because of them. Then, one afternoon, the sky began to change. Dark, ominous clouds rolled in, swallowing the bright blue sky. The wind started to whisper through the trees, then it began to howl like a hungry wolf. A fierce storm was brewing, one more powerful than any the meadow had seen in years. Trees bent and swayed violently, and terrified animals scurried for shelter. Rain began to fall, first as a drizzle, then as a torrential downpour. Bella was huddled in her little burrow, listening to the storm rage outside. Soon a trickle of water seeped under her door. The trickle became a stream, and the stream became a flood. The water was rising fast, soaking her soft bed and filling her cozy home. Panicked, Bella cried out for help, but her tiny voice was almost lost in the roaring wind and crashing thunder. But someone did hear her. Miles away, taking shelter under a rocky overhang, Duke's sensitive ears picked up the faint, desperate cry of his friend. He recognized Bella's voice instantly. Without a second thought for his own safety, he sprang into action. He dashed out into the raging storm, his powerful legs churning through the muddy, treacherous ground. Rain plastered his fur to his body, and wind pushed against him, but he never slowed down. He had to get to Bella. When he finally reached her burrow, he saw that it was almost completely flooded. He barked loudly over the storm. "Bella, Bella, can you hear me? Climb onto my back. I'll take you to safety." Through the swirling water, Bella saw her friend. Seeing Duke's brave, determined face gave her courage. She trusted him completely. She waded through the cold water and clambered onto his strong, broad back, clinging tightly to his wet fur. Duke turned and began the difficult journey back through the storm. He carried her carefully, navigating through the flash floods and fallen branches, his every step sure and steady. He carried her all the way up the hill to a dry, safe cave he knew. Inside, sheltered from the wind and rain, Bella snuggled close to Duke, shivering but safe. She looked up at her brave friend, her heart full of gratitude. "You're my hero, Duke," she whispered softly. Duke just licked her head gently, his warm presence a comforting shield against the storm outside. They stayed in the cave all night, huddled together for warmth, listening as the storm slowly tired itself out. When the first rays of morning sun peeked into the cave, they knew it was over. The world outside was quiet. They stepped out of the cave and looked down at the meadow below. The sun rose over a calm, peaceful forest. The storm had passed. The meadow sparkled, looking fresh and green after the heavy rain. Droplets of water glittered like diamonds on every leaf and blade of grass. But the storm had also left behind a mess. Many smaller animals had their homes damaged or destroyed. Bella and Duke didn't rest. They went right back down into the meadow and began to help their neighbors rebuild it. Duke used his strength to move fallen branches and clear debris, while Bella used her gentle nature to comfort those who were frightened and help gather new materials for nests and burrows. They worked side by side, their friendship a beacon of hope for everyone. The story of Bella's bravery and Duke's rescue spread throughout the forest. It became a tale told to young ones, a reminder that courage comes in all sizes and that true friendship is the greatest shelter in any storm. And so the small bunny and the big dog lived out their days in the sunny meadow, a perfect team forever friends. Proving that when you have someone who cares for you, you can face anything the world throws at you. Thanks for watching our story today. We hope it warmed your heart. If you enjoyed the adventures of Bella and Duke, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more wonderful tales. See you next time.